With all the excitement surrounding the Fed rate cuts, how is this going to impact XRP? And more importantly, what is going on with the price? Well, there's some very interesting views of exactly where the price is going to go, and more importantly, regulatory clarity when it comes to XRP and how Ripple is shaping the cryptocurrency market. We're going to break down all of this and some very big news that you need to be aware of in relation to XRP. So hit that like button, subscribe for the channel, and let's dive into it. So I want to start off with the big news, and you may or may not have heard it, but Ripple is part of a non-profit organization supported by Aptos Foundation and Hedera called the MEXC Crypto Alliance. Well, ultimately seeks to enable crypto entities to comply with the European Union's. Interesting to think about. Not only have you got Ripple that now we believe is all done and dusted with the SEC. In fact, Stuart Aldridge confirmed, and that we'll take a look at that in a minute. But actually, they're now going to be advocates. They're going to be supporters of how to deal and comply with European Union markets, as well as much, much more. This shows, in my opinion, just exactly what Ripple is all about, and interestingly enough, pairing up with Aptos and Hedera to really support this mechanism. So according to a press release from DSF, the alliance will assist regulated crypto asset services providers in better to comply with the EU crypto rules under MEXC. They will enjoy access to shared resources, tools, and global network of experts. European legislators passed the MEXC regulations in 2023, but part of it only became effective this year, and the full act will become applicable until the end of 2024. So getting involved, obviously the back end of 2024, we're expecting this massive bull run market. So I think it's very interesting, and more importantly, absolutely aligned to the values that sit here with XRP. Now, you may be thinking, well, 2-bit, is this going to pump the price to oblivion? Maybe not, all right? But what's interesting is how and what they're partnering up with and what they're setting out to deliver. Who would have thought 4 years ago, when the SEC went after XRP around, the securities of their token, they'd actually be complying, coaching, and ultimately supporting people to be compliant in European markets. I mean, it's a crazy world we live, isn't it? For sure. But this is very interesting. And again, there's going to be loads more that build out of this. And again, more importantly, it's going to be bigger than ever. The MEXC Crypto Alliance invites blockchain innovators and exchanges to participate in this effort, as its goal is to create a more standardized and compliant industry. So think about that. Ripple being connected to all of these different exchanges, very bullish indeed. Now, flipping back to what we talked about, Stuart Aldridge actually going with, you couldn't write this, Paul Grewal from Coinbase to give their view around the US Securities and Exchange Commission. In fact, Aldridge echoed the concerns and simply said Ripple's case is over, but the fair notice defense is still alive for others. This obviously relating back to the Coinbase incidents, as well as many others. And actually, don't forget, the SEC themselves coming out and saying the SEC regrets any confusion it may have invited by falsely and repeatedly stating that tokens themselves are securities. Kind of wow. We touched on this a little bit in a previous video, but again, for me, just echoes the sentiment we're at. The Ripple case is done. Yes, with the 125 million needs to be paid, but it's done. We're on it. And this is interesting that we have the Grayscale Trust coming out and much, much more. So again, just for absolute clarity, Stuart Aldridge here giving his view that it is over between the SEC and XRP. Very good news indeed. So does that therefore open up the opportunity for a massive price rally? Well, interesting enough, we'll take a look at the charts in a minute. XRP outperforming the rest of the market, but we actually saw it drop down to 57.4 earlier on today. Now it's back up again, but XRP retains an 8% growth in a week, 1.5% increase in the month, and is the 7th biggest coin in the market. So this is obviously good news. Now, the key that everyone's questioning, when do we hit $1, $2, $5, $10? Wherever people think it's going to go. Well, the reality is we've got to break 60 cents first. That's the reality. 62 cents a little bit further, but lots of predictions right now based on a potential big rate cut could ignite the markets, and XRP, given everything that's happened, absolutely could sit within that, could ride the crest of the wave along with everyone else. Now, interestingly enough, when you take a look at this price action, we drew this chart ages following a very nice pattern here, as you would expect. And interestingly enough, we called this September the 18th, we absolutely called a market move. We called a 50 basis points when everybody else was telling us it was going to be 25. The market is pricing in potentially a 50 basis points rise. Now, what does that mean for XRP? Well, we're holding very nicely here on the 50-day simple moving average. And actually, we are trading above the 100 and 200-day simple moving average here on the daily chart. This is good news. Our RSI divergence is pointing upwards, and every metric is looking very bullish indeed. And actually, the the general overall move is to the upside. So we could get those 50 basis points come in, could ignite the market. XRP, remember 62, interestingly, just flicking back on here, breaks the upper resistance of this downward channel. Very important. And I think if we break this Wednesday, Thursday morning, we could be onto the races. We could be up to retesting that 60 cent mark, 62, 65, and then on our way into October, or October as many people call it, and into a big bull run. Is that the catalyst for a $5, $6, $10 XRP? So if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more XRP videos, don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button and drop me a comment down below like we said. Let me know what your view is of the upcoming Fed rate cuts and what that could do for XRP. As ever, as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.